Understanding mistakes. Hello everyone, my name is Jacob, and today I'd like to share some thoughts on a subject that affects us all: mistakes. Whether large or small, public or private, accidental or careless, mistakes are part of what it means to be human. And yet, despite their common nature, many of us carry deep shame or fear around the idea of getting things wrong. So today, I want us to explore mistakes not as sources of embarrassment, but as essential stepping stones in our personal, professional, and emotional growth. Mistakes are decisions, actions, or judgments that lead to outcomes we did not intend or that fall short of expectations. They might involve choosing the wrong path, misinterpreting a situation, or simply making an honest error. But here's something important: a mistake is not proof of incompetence or failure. It is evidence that we are doing, learning, experimenting, and trying. In fact, mistakes often contain the seeds of progress. Behind every innovation, breakthrough, or personal transformation, you will often find a long trail of missteps that taught valuable lessons along the way. Understanding why mistakes happen can help us respond with curiosity instead of self-criticism. Here are a few common reasons: lack of experience or knowledge. We all start somewhere. When learning something new, mistakes are often unavoidable. They're a vital part of the learning curve. Stress, pressure, or fatigue. When we're overwhelmed or under intense pressure, whether in exams, the workplace, or personal relationships, our ability to think clearly may suffer. Miscommunication: words can be misunderstood. Assumptions can go unchecked. Many mistakes arise from simple misunderstandings or lack of clarity between people. Emotional reactions: decisions made in anger, fear, excitement, or sadness often bypass rational thought. Emotions aren't bad, but they can cloud judgment in the moment. Human error: no matter how careful we are, we're not robots. We forget things. We miss details. This is normal and natural. To err, as the saying goes, is human. The problem with fear of mistakes: many of us grow up absorbing the message, often unconsciously, that mistakes are a sign of weakness, stupidity, or failure. In school, at home, and in some workplaces, we may be punished or humiliated for getting things wrong. This creates a culture of fear around mistakes, which can cause anxiety and self-doubt. People begin to second-guess themselves, hesitant to take action or speak up. Prevent us from trying new things. The fear of failing can lead to avoidance. Opportunities for growth are missed simply because we're afraid to take the first step. Stifle creativity and innovation. In environments where perfection is expected, people may avoid experimenting or thinking outside the box. Feed perfectionism. The constant need to get things right can become exhausting and unhealthy. No one can live up to that standard forever. This fear becomes more than just an emotional burden. It becomes a barrier to development. Changing how we view mistakes. How do we begin to shift our mindset? See mistakes as learning opportunities. Every mistake contains a lesson, if we're willing to look for it. Ask yourself, what can I take from this? What would I do differently next time? Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Harsh self-criticism can be damaging. If you wouldn't speak to a friend like that, don't speak to yourself that way either. Take responsibility without shame. Owning up to a mistake shows strength, not weakness. It demonstrates integrity and a willingness to grow. Recognize that even brilliant minds make mistakes. From scientists and leaders to artists and athletes, mistakes are part of every great story of success. Normalize mistakes in our culture. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, a leader, or a friend, let's create environments where it's safe to get things wrong and learn from it. Mistakes in mental health contexts. In mental health and therapeutic work, this shift in thinking is especially vital. A person who has a lapse during recovery whether it's a return to unhealthy habits or an emotional setback, has not failed. Rather, the mistake is a signal. Something in their support system, coping strategy, or self-awareness needs attention. Mistakes in this context can lead to stronger coping mechanisms, improved therapeutic approaches, deeper self-understanding. Progress is rarely a straight line. Healing and growth are winding journeys with ups and downs, and mistakes along the way are not signs of defeat, but part of the process. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this. Mistakes are not the enemy. In fact, they are often our greatest teachers. They help us become more resilient, more thoughtful, more aware of ourselves and others. If we can change our relationship with mistakes, viewing them with curiosity rather than fear, and with compassion rather than judgment, then we open ourselves up to more authentic learning and growth. So the next time you stumble, take a breath, reflect, learn, then carry on. Because mistakes are not the end, they're often the beginning. If you enjoyed this content, like, subscribe, and share, and let's grow together through every mistake. Thank you.